friends, it's Amber. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. This is going to be such a fun and easy project, and you're not going to believe what we're using. It's so easy and it turns out so cute. So I'm just going to jump right in. This is my second video in my autumn/fall craft series, and I've got a bunch of videos lined up to come out in the next few days. So if you didn't see the schedule of when the videos will come out, I'll link that short that I posted below so you can check out the dates. But I also wanted to say, stay tuned to the end of the video because I have a surprise. So you might want to stick around to see that. Okay, today we're going to be making these bookish tags or bookmarks. I will be using mine as a bookmark. And these are very fall and they have Anna Green Gables vibes going on. Can't you just imagine that little scene on Anna Green Gables? So these are just so much fun and so easy to make, and it looks and feels like fabric. Look how pretty that is. It's like got a nice matte finish to it. And the back of it is so exciting as well because it's vintage book paper from Anna Green Gables' book. And it's got these fall like rub-ons over it. And this could not be easier. It was so much fun and so easy. And then I just put a little ink on the edges. And then of course, the best part, the trims and ribbon that I added so it could be like a tassel bookmark. And I have lots of gingham, beautiful oranges, and some beautiful crinkled dyed seam binding from MyScrapcabin Shop on Etsy, and then some ribbon here to finish it off. So this is so cool. I'm going to use it as a bookmark, and I'm going to make some for friends as well. Here's one of my Anna Green Gables books. I collect these, so you can just stick it like that. So how cute would this be for like a bookish friend? You could change up the design. You could do anything you want. Like the possibilities are endless when it comes to napkins. That's what I made this with, is napkins. So right now, like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, they have so many fall napkin packs out. If you're anything like me, you go crazy and collect them for years, and I finally wanted to use them. So that's a little bit to do with what the surprise is at the end of the video, so stay tuned. I'm so excited about these cute tags or bookmarks, whatever you want to use them for. They're just so beautiful and so quick and easy. We're just using these regular shipping tags. Let's go ahead and get started. I cannot wait to show you how easy this is. Okay, so we're gonna start out by doing this beautiful side of the tag. And as I mentioned, it is not fabric, it's not scrapbook paper, it's a napkin. And the cool thing about it is I have this entire pack of these napkins, and there's like so many in here, 40 napkins in here, and you can get, I think, 6 of these tags out of one napkin. So let me show you. So as you can see, the image is repeated 6 times. So you can make 6 tags out of one napkin. So when you're working with Mod Podge and a napkin, just know that there's usually 3 layers to the napkin. And I know a lot of people say to peel off the first 2 layers, but some napkins are really, really brittle on just like the last layer. So for this particular one, I'm just gonna peel off the first layer, which is actually on the back. So it's this thick white part, and I just take a piece of Scotch tape until I kind of rip some of it off. So that's all I did. I just took some Scotch tape and ripped some of it off. And then once you get that layer kind of started, you can see where it separates, just like this. And then you just simply remove that, and it's so easy. It's usually really easy to just remove it. And now you have this like thinner piece to work with. Now some napkins have another thick layer, but this one, I've tested it a million times, and the second layer on this one is really, really thin, and it kind of rips this layer. So we're just gonna work with the one layer taken off, and our image is nice and vibrant and beautiful, and it is so easy from here. All we're gonna do is just cut one of these panels off. So it doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna trim the edges on the tag. But I'm just gonna cut one panel off. And again, you can get so much use out of just one napkin. It's amazing. So now we have this beautiful image, and it's gonna go right here on our tag. So the first thing we're gonna do is just cover the surface of the front of the tag with Mod Podge. So I'm gonna I just have like the regular matte Mod Podge. You can use paper Mod Podge if you have it, or glossy, it's up to you, whatever you have. So I'm just gonna take a sponge brush, and I have some parchment paper on my surface just to protect it, because as you can see, I'm messy. So I'm just gonna lightly brush this, and you gotta kind of work fast because Mod Podge does dry. So I'm just gonna take that part that I spilled, and make sure when you're doing this that you're getting the edges really well, because you don't want that napkin to come up. So I'm just gonna do a little more. And Mod Podge dries clear, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm just taking this and making sure that's filled with Mod Podge. So then I'm just going to take the napkin and make sure I put the image where I want it on here. Right in the middle. So I'm just going to lay that down and kind of gently smooth it out. Don't do it too rough because you don't want to rip the napkin. And it is so beautiful. It looks like we're doing fabric. Once it's all done, it looks like fabric. So I really love using napkins. Okay, so now that that's smoothed out, so I let that dry a little bit before I cover this with Mod Podge. Okay, so I gave that some time to dry. It's still a little bit wet under there, but I let it dry for the most part. So now we're just gonna take the Mod Podge again and gently paint over it. So make sure you get all the way to those edges, and don't have huge clumps of Mod Podge because the glue will get a little tacky and it'll kind of clump up. So just make sure you're doing smooth strokes and just covering all the edges really well. And then making sure the middle is smooth. Don't overdo it because, again, you don't want to rip that delicate napkin. Okay, so now that I have that all covered, I know it looks weird right now because it's all white with the glue, but I assure you that is going to dry clear and it's going to look so nice. It's going to have such a cool effect on the napkin. I'm going to go ahead and close up my Mod Podge for now and put this aside because this now needs to completely dry before we can cut off the excess and then do the back. So now that we're waiting for that to dry, we are going to work on the back of our cute bookmarks, and that is this book page with those beautiful fall leaves. It's so easy. Okay, so all you're going to need for this are some rub-ons or stickers if you want. I like the look of the rub-ons, and these are from Dollar Tree. These are so pretty. They give me like Tim Holtz vibes. They're so pretty and kind of vintage, and I love the colors. And so we're going to be using these rub-ons, and I have this old Anna Green Gables book that I've been using as ephemera. So I have multiple copies of Anna Green Gables. It's my favorite book, and I collect copies. But I also grab the copies that are falling apart in like the used bookstores and Friends of the Library. So this is one of those, and I'm just going to tear out a page. And I like this because it's all naturally aged on the edges because this is an older edition. So here's our book page, and then we're going to use the rub-ons to decorate it. It's so fun. I think I'm addicted to rub-ons now because I was testing these out on multiple surfaces, and I think my favorite is on book pages. So if you've never used rub-ons, all you do is you peel this acetate page or like vellum kind of page off of the sticker paper. So this is like really shiny sticker paper so it doesn't get stuck on there. And then literally all you do is place the rub-ons on the surface that you want them to be glued to. So if you wanted just one, you could just cut this out with your scissors and then place it down. But I want like this whole page covered. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna line up the edge of the rub-on sheet to my paper here, and I'm just gonna gently press it down. Make sure that you don't press any of the part of it that is not on the book page, because you don't want it to stick to like your surface, or in my case, the parchment paper. So I'm just gonna kind of gently push with my finger where I want it. And then the next thing to do, if it doesn't come with like a little rub-on stick, just take anything you have. So I'm gonna use my bone folder, which is great to use for this. And you're gonna take the surface of just the rub-on that's covering the paper, and you're just gonna press down. So just make sure you press down from top to bottom, side to side, whatever you wanna do. And that will make the rub-ons transfer right onto that book page. And if you don't have a bone folder, just use like a popsicle stick or a butter knife, anything. Just make sure that you don't press too hard and don't rip it. So I'm gonna take like the flat side and press a little bit harder. I just wanna make sure all those rub-ons are gonna stick to the paper. Now, I'm sure there's like better rub-ons out there. These again are from Dollar Tree, and they're in the fall craft section. So I'm just gonna take the corner of the paper and kind of pull it and see if it's working, and it is. So I'm gonna gently and slowly pull this back. And as you can see, our beautiful rub-ons transferred onto the book page. It's not perfect, there's a couple little pieces missed, but it still looks really good. Our book page is so cute. I'm gonna give you a close-up like this. Okay, I thought I was filming, so what I'm doing here is I'm just taking a little tiny bit of the Mod Podge, I've already gone over this, and doing a very, very thin layer over the rub-ons and the book page. You don't wanna do a bunch, just a tiny layer over the entire page, so that way these rub-ons are sealed in and nothing's gonna come up, and it gives us like a nice kind of a sealed look. So now that I've done just a thin layer of Mod Podge over that, I'm gonna set this aside to dry. Okay, so it's not all the way dry. It still has a little bit in the middle to dry. For the most part, it is nice and dry. Isn't that so pretty and like a nice, crisp, beautiful image? I love it. So now all we need to do is just cut off the excess napkin. So I'm gonna be really gentle with this because the napkin could rip so easily. I'm just gonna take a sharp pair of scissors and gently cut off the excess around that tag. And if this isn't completely dry, you need to wait for it to dry because the napkin can rip pretty easy. If you can hear the TV, I'm so sorry. My husband's in there watching, I think, football. I'm not sure. So now we have all of that cut off. And look how beautiful our tag is. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with it. Again, it needs to dry just a little bit more in the middle, so I'm gonna let that dry real quick, and we're gonna come back and add our beautiful book page to the back. So I brought in the parchment again, just in case any glue leaks out. But for this, I'm gonna add this strong Scotch adhesive to the entire back of the tag. I'm gonna get the edges really well, because I don't want that book paper to come up. So I'm gonna add this glue to the back. We're not gonna do any Mod Podge on this side because we already did the finished layer on top of the book page, and we're gonna use this glue for the page to stick to the tag. And then I'm gonna fill the middle in. I really like this like aged edge over here, so I kind of want to line that up with the right edge and the top with the top. And I like to see the Anna Green Gables at the top also, so I'm gonna keep that in mind and just try to line this up. Okay, so once you have it down, just kind of smooth it really gently with your fingers. You don't want the rub-ons to come off. Just turn this over and cut off the excess. So here's what the back looks like. Isn't that so pretty? I save these little scraps for my junk journal. So let's just set that aside. Okay, so now that we have the front and back all done, this has such a nice texture. Like we glued fabric on there. I love how that turned out, and just with one little panel of a napkin. So pretty. So the next thing I do is just take some Distress ink, and I like to finish off the edges with a little Distress ink. So I'm just gonna use this Vintage Photo Distress Oxide and this little dauber. And I'm just gonna gently ink the edges. So they're kind of aged, and it gives it a nice finished look, and it just gives it a nice touch too. Okay, to finish this off, all we're gonna do is punch a hole exactly where the hole is on the tag. So I'm gonna use my Crop-A-Dile. I'm gonna use the 3/16 side, which is the bigger side on the Crop-A-Dile, and I'm just gonna find where that hole is in the tag and just punch the hole. So we're gonna set an eyelet in here, just like this. It gives it a nice, luxurious look, and it's so easy. So I'm gonna take my eyelets that I have here, and I'm gonna use another of the copper ones. I think it matches really nice. And you've seen me do this a million times before. You just feed it through that hole right there, and I'll link some of these below. The We Are Memory Keepers ones are the best to go with the Crop-A-Dile, but these are actually just ones I got on Amazon, and they work just fine. So then you take the top of your Crop-A-Dile and just set the eyelet in there. So chomp down, and you have the eyelet set. Super cute, right? I'm using 3 colors of gingham. This like purple and dark orange, this like burnt orange and cream, and then white and bright orange. Those 3, and of course I'm gonna incorporate some beautiful seam binding. So I think for this one I'm going to change it up a little. I did 2 different tones of green on this one, but for this one I think I want to do this pretty color, and this is rust, and then we'll do some of this green. This is moss. So all those together, oh my gosh, it's going to look so pretty. So I'm just going to snip some of this off, and you can just eyeball the length however long you want it. And then to tie it off, I'm going to be using this fall ribbon right here that I got from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby, yeah. And this is so pretty. It has like acorns and leaves and pumpkins. So that's going to be right here, and I'm going to tie it into a little bow. Okay, so I've cut the ribbon, and all I'm going to do now is just kind of like stack it together. Okay, so my camera stopped recording for a second. The card was full. So what I did is I fed the ribbon through the hole, and then just so it's kind of even, and I'm going to flip this over like this, and I'm going to tie this off in like a big bundle like this with this ribbon. There it is. I tied the bow. It doesn't have to be perfect because we all know I don't tie a perfect bow ever, but I just think it looks so pretty, and they're at like at different lengths, and it's just gonna look so beautiful, and it makes a really cute gift for somebody, maybe with a book or some tea. But I think these turned out so cute. Possibilities are endless with napkins, as you can see here. And I love how we really dressed it up with all the ribbon. And then of course, the back is just as cute as the front. I also did a napkin on this glassine bag. Look how beautiful this came out. Isn't it so pretty? Same thing. All I did was take a little craft colored glassine bag, and you can order these in bulk, but all you do is just do the same thing. Fill it with Mod Podge, stick your napkin on top, let it dry, cut off the excess, and then do the same on the back. So I think this is so cute, and if it was like a gift, you could do like the bookmark in here with maybe like a little thing of tea and a chocolate or something. I think that would be such a pretty favor or a gift for anybody. If you're looking for like little hostess gifts, or if you have a book club and you want to take everybody a little gift, you can just have such a variety of beautiful designs and just feel so nice. So there's my cute little napkin project. So thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be offering in my Etsy shop, available as you're watching this video. Okay, so this is the surprise I'm talking about. So this adorable autumn kit that I'm listing in my Etsy shop includes 16 beautiful fall/autumn napkins, and they're all different and they're all gorgeous, and some other goodies. So I'm going to show you everything you get. So those are all the 16 napkins that you'll get in the kit. And like I said, I was obsessed with collecting these, and you're getting one of each of a napkin collection that I have been hoarding for a few years now. I just tore into the plastic wrapping and opened these up so that way I could list them and share them with you guys. So I do want to mention that the only two napkins that might differ is this one right here is either going to be this cute design, or it's going to be a really pretty autumnal one with owls on it. And the other one is this one here. It's either going to be this leaf napkin or a beautiful one with pumpkins with like folk art, and it's really colorful and really pretty. So those are the only two that might differ in your kit, but you still get 16 of these napkins. And let me show you the other goodies I'm including. So I'm also including 6 of these craft colored glassine bags. And these are so much fun to Mod Podge the napkins on. Again, in the video I showed you what I did with mine. And it was so much fun, and it just feels so sturdy and good in the hands. You can fill this thing up with goodies, and I used one of these glassine bags with this napkin. And again, you can make multiple projects with one napkin because again, it has 6 panels. Okay, so you get 6 of those. So I'm also including 8 of these large cream colored shipping tags. So you get 8 of these. You can make as many of those bookmarks as you want, change up the design, do whatever you want. So you're gonna get 8 of those, and then I'm including enough trim to make one of the bookmarks that we made here on camera. So I'm including one of each of the gingham ribbons, and then that beautiful pumpkin acorn one. And then you can always go to MyScrapcabin Shop, order the seam binding colors that you want. So that's what you're gonna get in this beautiful kit, and I hope that you will check out the Etsy listing. It's linked right below. You just have to click on it, and I hope that you can snag one. Again, thank you so much for watching, everybody. This is such an easy project. Anybody can do it. Have like a little crafty weekend maybe, and go out napkin hunting, or grab the bundle from my Etsy shop. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon in the next fall series video. Bye!